atmosphere here. Beautiful, wonderful kitchen.
It's the holidays at my house. It's the holidays at your house. What a fantastic day. So let's talk turkey.
I think if you just start with the best quality turkey, we do butterball in all of our restaurants. We smoke a lot of turkey. It'll give you a nice juicy one. And if you start with a good weight, like I prefer like 12 to 16 pounds. If it takes too long, you're gonna forget about it. Or go take a nap, or you're watching football. Yeah, you know, too small is might as well get a chicken. But this is a good sized turkey right here. I think this is about 13 pounds. You can do it in the oven, but I prefer to do it on these Green Mountain grills. You have the right equipment and the right product, everything's easy. There's no magical like way to sprinkle the rub or whatever. That doesn't make it better. I mean, I'm probably gonna do it anyway just because. The neck and the giblets and stuff is really important to keep, and I'm gonna save that. A lot of people like to use a roasting rack, but what I like to do is chop up a Mirepoix, that's French, carrots, celery, and onions, and that's gonna flavor our gravy and our stock when we're done, and that's also gonna provide a base like a rack so that air can get underneath this turkey and stuff. So instead of a rack, I like to have a bunch of flavor profiles that are, you know, it's gonna be steaming and getting all this, you know, all these flavors into the turkey while it's roasting. They don't have to be pretty cuts. And these vegetables are actually delicious. Like I love to eat these when the turkey's done also, because they're just gonna sit there and roast and collect turkey juice all day. You want to get crazy, you can put in some parsnips or something like that too. And you want them to stay kind of big. You know, this is a good size right here.
We're not dicing this up.
No.
Nice big chunks, and like you said, so that's going to add both flavor for our gravy after the fact, but it's also going to add it's going to provide a nice bed for our bird.
It's a bed, and it also, you know, lets the air circulate underneath it, just like you would with a roasting rack. No, I like to put leeks in here sometimes too. Leeks are some of my favorite, and you know, you can take a whole head of garlic and put it in here too. Why don't we just pretend like that's in here? Do you guys want to do that?
I love it. I can smell it in the air now.
Yeah, it's just going to smell. You can put in some bay leaves, some peppercorns, it can get crazy. So I'm just gonna set these chunks in here too. Tony Chachere's, I can never pronounce this right.
Chachere's? That's my understanding.
Chachere's. It's basically a butter and garlic and herb marinade. I get like maybe 3/4 of this bottle in here.
Okay.
Just depends on the size of the turkey. You wanna make sure you get deep down into the legs are important, because we want those legs to be nice and juicy.
Sure.
It's gonna come out of the sides if there's any holes in the skin or anything, but don't worry about it, just keep pumping.
Got it. Who like to do this homemade at home, can they come up with their own injectable fluid?
Oh yeah, you can inject a brine. You can just take 1 cup of salt, 1 cup of sugar, 2 quarts of water, bring it to a boil, cool it off, and that can be you can inject the brine in there also. Very simple brine. It's important to get a lot in the breast, because the breast is the part you got to worry about getting dry. The legs are pretty foolproof, you know. And I believe what's in here is some butter and some vinegar, lots of spices.
Yeah, these holidays, you know, it's just as much, obviously, about the family as it is about the food. And at my house, everybody's in the kitchen. Everybody's wanting to help out, and everybody has their specific dishes.
I get invited to tons of barbecues and parties like this, and I get excited because I think I have a lot of friends. And then when I say, hey, what should I wear to this thing? They're like, we don't care, you're cooking. You know, so I end up having to work at these things.
An apron?
Yeah, basically. And see, I'm already almost through it. So once it starts to like blow out,
yep, I see it.
Then you know that you're close. But you know, I'm almost at the end here. I'm just gonna try and get it all in here.
Do you do vegetables on the interior, in the cavity, or do you leave those
I
out?
usually stuff. I'm a stuffer.
Sure.
I love stuffing. It's my favorite part. I could just eat stuffing. I've been eating stuffing the last 2 days, actually. A lot of people rub it down with butter, which I like to do also. But over the last couple years, I've been doing something a little crazier. I've been rubbing it down with duck fat.
Okay.
Because I just think it adds that extra umami. Not umami. So I'm gonna rub this all over this. I'm gonna let it sit for a minute, and then we're gonna season it up.
If I'm a butter guy, I can go straight.
Yeah, butter. Yeah.
This is our.
This is crazy town right here. So easy to render duck fat if you've murdered a duck with your car or like a shotgun or whatever. You just take the skin off and you put it in a little pot with some water and just simmer it, and this beautiful duck fat will come out. And you can cook eggs in it. It's an incredible flavor, and it's also got a higher smoke point, so you can get it hotter than traditional butter. I just like the flavor that this duck fat's gonna give it, and the crispiness, because I like a crispy skin too. My favorite seasoning for poultry is called Boar's Night Out White Lightning, and I actually put this on everything. I put it in my coffee. Like I'll put it in my cereal this morning. Wait till you try this. This is how good this is.
Everybody's got that rub that they love. I mean, so is there a wrong way to go?
Yeah, I wouldn't do any barbecue rub that has too much sugar in it. A lot of the rubs have a lot of sugar in it. Okay. What I like to do is put it at like 400 for the first hour. Sure. And try and get it kick-started, you know, and sometimes that sugar, if you're cooking that high, can burn. I don't like to put a lot of barbecue rub on these things with like the paprika and the sugar. This is basically just salt and pepper and herbs. And they actually just came out with a new one that has butter solids in it. So it's amazing.
And we're gonna be pretty liberal with this?
Very liberal, yeah. Can't go wrong. It's not like I'm just dumping salt on here. This is like a whole, it's not a salty rub, as you can tell.
Excellent. No, it sure isn't.
I don't know what kind of, there might be some crack in there. I don't know what all I put in there, but I love eating it. We're gonna season this whole thing, but what I like to do is, I want it to spend the first hour upside down.
You wanna get those thighs up.
Thighs up. So now I'm gonna go get some more of this stuff on here. Very liberal. Because this stuff is delicious, and everyone in your family is gonna be trying to figure out what exactly you put on here, and you just can't tell them. Time to go in the smoker. We're gonna put it in for about an hour upside down, and just let this bottom cook, because when we wanna, after an hour or so, we're gonna flip it over, and then we just want it to cook and the skin to get crispy.
Great.
So we don't want it to get all wet from all this delicious Mirepoix
Okay.
and juice that's gonna be in here.
So we're going to the Green Mountain Grill. These guys have been with us for a while. This is the Daniel Boone. Great size.
It's like it was made to smoke a turkey. You know, it fits perfect. And this smoker was actually at 100 degrees about 3 minutes ago.
Okay.
And all we did was just hit the temp control, and boom, it pops right up.
Temp came right up.
Temp came right up. Got
So
nice
we're-
smoke coming from these pellets in here.
Great. And we're going in at 300.
300 degrees for an hour.
Okay.
And we're not going for any specific doneness or temperature. It's just to get it kick-started. And then we're gonna flip it over, we're gonna finish it right side up. Yeah, should be good.
Excellent. Here we go.
The biggest mistake, home cooks make is they're always opening stuff and checking it. They're like moving stuff around in the pan or whatever,
Sure.
opening
You're losing all that heat.
No, you want one of the most important things is a long, steady heat, and you achieve that with the little computer that's on here that has a steady temperature the whole time.
Sure.
And with this temperature stick, if it's inside of the meat, you never have to open it and check because you already know what the temperature is.
Yeah, these guys at Green Mountain Grill, they make it simple.
Mind blown.
Yeah, a lot of people roast. We're smoking this one. This is the Green Mountain Grill's fruitwood blend.
There's two types of wood. There's hardwood and fruitwood, and the hardwood's more like mesquite and stuff like that, and that gives a really harsh flavor to it. But with turkey is a delicate bird, and you want to use fruit woods. So I believe this has cherry wood in there, beech wood, which I think is also used in some beer aging type stuff, and pecan, which I just learned is also a fruit.
What's going in this glaze? And
I like an orangey glaze. I just love the oranginess in the fruit, and I think it really, really goes well with the turkey, and it goes orange and cranberry are a classic combination. The first thing I'm gonna do is gonna get some apple cider vinegar, about a cup of that. I'm gonna add some dark brown sugar.
We're using Grandma's measuring spoon here?
Yeah. Not a lot, not too sweet. The last 45 minutes or so of cooking,
Okay.
we're gonna be basting this on the bird
Sure.
and getting a nice, bubbly, crispy crust.
Great.
And too much sugar is gonna kind of burn that a little bit.
I can use this
Yeah.
for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. I got a little orange juice, a little bit of OJ, about a half cup, quarter cup.
Great.
I like to get a lot of pepper in here. Just a simple orange marmalade.
Okay.
It can be any brand. I like this St. Dalfour. They sell it at Whole Foods. It's got a nice gelatinous thickness to it. You don't want to put this on the bird and all like runs off. It's got to have a little bit of thickness to it.
So we're gonna go generous with this stuff here.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put this whole jar in here.
Okay.
This is enough for one bird. This is like the exact recipe to cover one bird.
Okay, great. So we're just gonna whisk this stuff together, nice and
Yeah.
slow.
Oh, yeah.
A little slow on the heat. So I can do this on my stovetop as well.
You
right?
can do this ahead of time.
This is great because this is something that we can be doing in the kitchen while we're waiting.
Yeah.
While that bird's cooking.
Maybe give it the job to somebody that's not the best chef, because it's so easy.
So
There's always like Uncle Earl or somebody that's trying to help out. Maybe had a couple too many beers.
Right.
You just give them those things. Say, hey, dump that in there, whisk it, and don't walk away from it.
I'm giving this to my sister's boyfriend this year. That's who's getting this job.
He sounds like a dirtbag.
Well, yeah. I haven't met him yet.
Oh, okay. Well, he's probably
But
is.
he's coming in for the holidays, so he's got that going for him.
I always like to use a little gnarly head Cabernet. It's got a nice fruity oakiness to it, and
Okay.
it's just kind of going to thin this out a little bit, just a couple tablespoons.
Sure.
And it's also going to make a great kind of mahogany color on the finish of the
Got it.
glaze.
Beautiful. I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing come to life. This thing has been cooking now for about an hour at 300 degrees. We're going to open it up. We're going to take a look at the coloring on this, see what the status is, and I guess we're going to turn this bird up right. Is that correct?
Let's do it.
Excellent. Let's take a look.
Okay, so we're going to flip this bird over. Okay, now the top of this we can roast this thing now. Put some oranges in the cavity because we're kind of have an orangey kind of flavor to this thing.
Got it?
I'm gonna shove those right up in there. all up in there. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some turkey stock
Okay.
to my Mirepoix down here. And that's gonna be the start of our gravy.
Got it.
So when this thing's all cooked down, there's gonna be all kinds of turkey juice in here, and then there's gonna be some added turkey broth in here, and that's gonna be the base for a gravy.
Great. This is looking fantastic, and I'm really excited to see the finished product.
So at this point also with this Green Mountain Grill, I would kind of put this kind of probe in here.
Got it.
300 degrees. And we're not gonna open this thing until we get to about 145 degrees in that thigh right there.
thigh.
And then we're gonna start with our glazing process.
Great.
And then another half hour or so, we're gonna be done.
Fantastic. Welcome back to the barrage. This thing's been cooking now. We're at 300. It's ready to glaze. We've been watching the temperature come up on that
Yep.
thigh. So if this thing's ready to glaze, we can open it up and get going.
The thigh is at about 145 right now. I wanna get it to 165. It's gonna be our finished product. So that's gonna be in about another half hour, 45 minutes.
Got it?
So at this point now, it's safe to start glazing this puppy. So I'm close to the color I want right now. Just gonna darken it up a little more, and this is really gonna give it that mahogany kind of a glaze we're looking for. And then it's also gonna add just a nice little touch of sweetness.
Got it?
And that gnarly head's gonna set off those fruity notes along with that fruit wood. You know, it's gonna really set this thing off.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that now, close it 15 minutes, we'll do it again.
So we're gonna let that warm
Yeah.
up. It's go time. We saw that it came up to 165 and in the thigh, so it's time to open this thing up, pull it out.
Let's do it.
All right. Looks beautiful, man.
Look at that, it does look pretty good.
I'm hungry. It's time.
Here we go, I'm just gonna put the rest of this glaze on here.
Gorgeous.
This is gonna hang.
All right, so we are back. This thing it's finished. It's beautiful. We're all hungry. Ladies and gentlemen, wanted to bring into the video today Brian Wabi from Eximius Events and Q in the Lou, Denver Barbecue Festival.
I don't know.
We're here at the barrage, so there is no glassware. We go straight clear plastics.
You know what? My favorite is the leftovers. What do you do with leftover turkey?
I like to make a sandwich. And say with everything, you start with the best ingredients possible. So we're gonna have this delicious, moist, cold turkey breast. Slice that, maybe like a little club sandwich, some good grilled bread. I don't know, some
What kind of bread?
bacon. I like to put bacon on stuff.
Okay.
You know,
Nothing-
mayonnaise.
nothing's
My
wrong
two
with
favorite
bacon.
food groups are bacon and mayonnaise.
We're ready to dig into this thing. Mike, thank you so much for
Thanks for having
showing
me.
us. We can't wait to share this with all of our folks. From everybody at the Denver Barbecue Festival, Q in the Lou, Sugarfire Smokehouse. Want to wish you guys all a happy holidays. Thank you so much for joining us, Mike. Salute.
Cheers.
Cheers.